Devontae's Reaper Training. Y'all now tuned in to the Reaper Motivation Podcast, the YouTube channel. And today, we're going to touch on the topic of social media, and that's what does she bring to the table? So I'm going to give y'all 5 things that I think y'all should look for in a girl that she should bring to the table. And actually, honestly, this could go for both of y'all. I feel like both of y'all should have these attributes for a power couple, so to speak. So the first one is definitely the very most important thing. The other 4 aren't in any particular order. It's just things that should be in there. But the first one was definitely. The first one is going to be peace. If she cannot chill out, she needs to go. Now, your threshold might be different than mine. Me personally, if we argue more than 3-4 times a month, you gotta hit that old dusty trail. You gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Look, you wanna argue that bad? Go on ESPN with Stephen A. Smith. That's how I'm looking at it. If you hustling, first and foremost, all the other things that I'm about to bring up, I don't even think they're even really possible or feasible with somebody who you arguing all the fucking time. Nothing's gonna get done. You hustling, it's a big distraction, and we don't need no distractions over here. We hustling. All that extra dumb shit, the arguing and the breaking stuff, and it's too much going on, too much at once. If you a hustler, you don't need it. That's gonna be first and foremost. And then number 2, this one's gonna be credit. So, like I said, a lot of these gonna apply to both of y'all, and this one is definitely applies to both. And I'm gonna give you guys an example of why this is so important. So, think about it this way, right? Let's say you have a good credit score, be anywhere from like 680 to like a 710, 720, which is a pretty good score. So let's say you have a 710, right? You get with her, she has a 685. Let's say things go good, y'all kick it off, y'all want to buy a house, right? Let's say you guys get a house for $160,000, right? Now, if she raises up her credit a little bit, and let's say she gets a credit line of $20,000, right? Now, that house that you guys bought for $160,000, let's say that $20,000, she takes $10,000 of it and she renovates the. Well, y'all mutually agree to take her $10,000 from her credit line, and you guys renovate the bathroom that you guys just bought the house from. Now, on average, you can get about 60% back of your invested money from a bathroom. That means if you put in $10,000, you'll get 60% back, right? That adds on to the equity of the house that you already have. So let's say you guys have the house for say 5 years, you build up $20,000, maybe $30,000 of equity. Let's say the market goes pretty good. How much you invest in that bathroom compounds on top of that. So you guys can make back an extra say $40,000 to $50,000 on your house. And that was you guys working together, utilizing your credit. Let's say you bought the house with your own loan, right? And while you guys are together, her money that she makes from, say, her job or something like that, she's not paying any bills, but she's paying off those loans that she used for the bathroom. Her credit's going up, your credit's going up, you're paying the mortgage, everybody's growing. And on top of that, like I said, that's just one thing. If her credit keeps skyrocketing, let's say that credit line goes from $20,000 to say $40,000 within that 5-year time span that you guys are there, and she keeps taking more and more to help. And here's the thing: if you guys keep that credit limit of how much you're spending under, you want to keep it under 30%, but 50% is not bad. You know what I mean? As long as you're paying it off at a reasonable time, probably like 40%. But let's say she keeps it under 40%, right? And the total that she invests is something like I'm not the best with math. Let's say total she invests is something like $15,000, $20,000 in that house. The return on that could be exponential. And here's the thing: y'all both hustling, your credit good. Guess what? When y'all done with that house, that was y'all first little crib. Let's say y'all got some kids, maybe like some twins or something like that. Guess what? Now you're looking at $275,000 houses, $300,000 houses, and guess what? With affordable mortgages. You guys had that money. That's your investment. And here's the cool thing about it: y'all work together for it. So that's what's so big about credit. Credit is something that's essential for her to bring to the table. Now, we're in our 20s. A lot of people go to college. If it's fucked up, that's fine. Y'all can work on it, but she needs to be willing to work on it. So that is something that is essential to bring to the table. You need to either have good credit or be willing to work on getting your credit straight. And that's going to be something that's really big for y'all. Number 3 is going to be dependability, right? Dependability can work in a couple. Dependability, I always have a hard time saying that word. Dependability could come in a couple of different forms, right? For you, it may be something like you're busy, you don't have time to meal prep, you ask her to cook, right? That's just her being dependable. Me personally, dependability in a relationship and what would be needed, in my opinion, would be something like, if I have to say I'm running my business and I need to order more stuff. Hey babe, I need you to get on the thing, go ahead, start ordering some more labels for these bottles. Or order some more shirts. Or hey, I got a call from this bureau, they need this, they need this, here's the money, go call and handle that for me. Things like that, just being dependable. Because again, if we're taking from the standpoint that you're paying a majority of the bills or most of them, the other side of the bargain needs to be filled. Now, a lot of times they're looking at it from the standpoint of what you bring to the table is like, oh, I don't need you for nothing. It's not true. You have a lot to offer. Let me tell you something. 2 people is always gonna be better than 1. Like the saying always says, one person is never gonna be as strong as a group. Now, albeit it's not a group, it's just 2 people, but y'all can get a lot accomplished if y'all both working towards something. But that means everybody needs to be pulling their weight. That don't mean just pussy at all. Next, we're gonna go into self-care. Now, I talked about this in the last couple videos, is does she take care of herself? And again, it's gonna go for both of y'all. You cannot run a household, you cannot run a business if you are not taking care of your own self, right? You don't want someone who's gonna possibly die of a heart attack at 31 because all she eats is fucking fried foods and chitlins and shit like that. You need somebody that's going to the gym, eating vegetables, drinking their water, taking good care of themselves so you guys can take care of your family. You don't want to be 28 years old and you can't play with your kids because you're obese. You know what I mean? You can't go up a flight of stairs. How are you going to play with your kids? How you guys going to make it out to different events and track meets and throw footballs and things like that, right? Your quality of life is always better when you're not obese. And I'm telling you right now, you may think, hey, your metabolism is booming, you're doing good, you just eat what you want, it burns right off. But listen, a couple kids, and you hit past 30, it's going to catch up to you. So if you're not putting that self-care in now, that's going to be a big thing in the future. You got to really, really hone down on that. And that's something that you have to bring to the table. And nowadays, I just feel like we're getting to the point where, I'm not even going to say females, but just people in general are getting content with just being big. I swear to God, when I go on these damn dating apps, I get to swiping, and it's like every other profile I get to, big girl, BBW appreciation. And look, nothing's wrong with you being a little oversized. That's okay. But some of these girls I be seeing are downright like eating themselves to death. If you're 5'3", 250 pounds, you're damn near killing yourself. Like it's literally dangerous. And here's the thing: every black person watching this video right now, 300% I could guarantee you that you either know somebody, you are somebody, or you've been around people who are either suffering from who either die from obesity, who have high blood pressure or diabetes, or had a heart attack, or are struggling in their day-to-day life because of obesity. We all know one, right? And if you don't know one, you are one. That's how bad it is in the community right now. It's really, 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 really bad. So that is something that is huge. If she does not take care of herself and you don't take care of yourself, that is a red flag. Someone needs to go. And I'm talking from a male perspective, so she needs to go. And I'm not saying that as soon as y'all start talking, she needs to turn into like this bodybuilder, but hey, look, exercise 45 minutes, 3 times a week, drink water on a daily, eat some vegetables, you know what I mean? Cut out some fried foods and some sweets. It's not a whole lot of work. That's not a whole lot, and it'll make a world of a difference. You'd be surprised at how much of a difference it actually makes. That is the number one thing that has to be brought. Number 5, and my final one, is going to be intelligence and the willingness to learn. This one kind of loops back to credit a little bit, but let's say the girl that you're talking to doesn't have good credit and she doesn't really know much about credit, which is very normal. You know what I mean? We don't really get taught about it in school. The information is readily available all over YouTube and Google and everything else, but you know, maybe it was never emphasized the importance of it. If she's willing to learn, that's awesome. But if you have somebody who's like, you know, you're supposed to take care of that, you're the dude. Nope, no bueno. No bueno at all. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna fly. You need to be willing to learn, right? And if you have somebody who's pretty intelligent, who understands things about her wits and things like that, she'll be willing to learn. She'll want to learn. Because at the end of the day, this is not just helping. None of the stuff that y'all are doing is solely for y'all. If y'all have kids, you want your kids to be set up. Like I said, a $280,000 house, right? You don't necessarily need a $280,000 house. Let's say that increasement, that upgrade that y'all got from that first house that y'all had, that was, say, was it $160,000? Let's say y'all just go up and get a $200,000 house. A little bit bigger, a little more space, so you had the kids. But that extra money that y'all got through equity, y'all can put that in the stock market. Y'all can put that in hedge funds. Y'all can put that in things contributing towards your kids to help them out. College, things like that. How many of you guys wish that your parents had set aside some money for you to go to college? How many of y'all wish that your parents had set aside some money for you to start a business? All that comes from growing. And this is not a market. This is not a world and economy that you can do everything on your own. So if you guys got two people hustling, then that works. But again, you need to be willing to learn. You need to be willing to get that information. I've learned, man, a plethora of information regarding finances and stocks and real estate and things like that in about 2 months. It didn't take all that long. If it's just I was willing to learn information, and I'm willing to pass on information. But if that person is not willing to learn, it's not going to work, and that shit is important. So that is a huge thing that she has to bring to the table, is just the willingness to learn and the eagerness to learn also. If you get a girl that's a hustler, dog, she's gonna want to know about money. 100%. If she is into businesses and she's already working and doing her thing, if you come to her and say, hey babe, I got this, and this, and if we do this, we can get this type of credit line, we can start this type of business, she's gonna be all for it. And if she's not, that gives you an idea where her mental's at. And look, some people just can't come along for the ride, G. So those are my 5 things that a woman should bring to the table. I'm gonna have some more content for y'all coming soon. This is Devontae. This is Reaper Training. We don't chase dreams, we hunt goals.